watching The Chew, Orange Media Network's official news show. I'm Audrey Bedoya Bunch. Our first story tonight, a potential grad student strike. Last week, you may have seen the Coalition of Graduate Employees performing a practice picket in the MU Quad. Kip Ranich is reporting.
Last Wednesday, the Coalition of Graduate Employees took to the Memorial Union Quad to practice marching for a potential strike over stalled wage negotiations.
We are trying to send a message to OSU that we are serious and we are organized and that we are ready to stand together to work for a better contract for all of us.
According to OSU's Office of University Human Resources, OSU is offering an 8% raise in salary minimums and annual increases for returning graduates. This will increase what OSU spends on graduate employees by over 16%, spread over a proposed 5-year term.
Our other core demand is to maintain the current contract negotiation cycle, which is every 4 years with a partial reopener every 2 years. The university wants to try to lock us into a 5-year contract with raises every year that wouldn't keep up with inflation over the lifetime of the contract.
Meanwhile, the CGA's offer includes a 50% increase to salary minimums and annual increases for returning graduate employees.
The main demands remaining are primarily the financial ones. So, in essence, our main ask is to get all graduate employees up to something approaching a living wage.
According to CGE officials, the decision on whether to go on strike still needs to be made. This is Kip Franich signing out.
Next up, after a long period of construction, the Oregon State University Pride Center has moved back into its main location near the International Living Learning Center. I had a chance to visit and to speak with Cindy Conrad, the center director, about what it means for OSU students.
Hi, everyone. I'm Cindy Conrad. I'm the center director for the Pride Center, and I use she and they pronouns, and I've been at OSU for about 9 years.
Continuing on to that, with these new spaces and features, how do you think this compares to your old space in the SEC?
Yeah. So I think one of the nice things about this space that we have now is we have multiple rooms, so we can have different things going on at the same time. The SEC space and even the little house before we moved into the SEC was kind of one big open space for people. So here we have multiple spaces, like someone could be taking a test in a quiet room while there's a program going on in the gathering hall, and people are studying over where we are in the library. So it really opens up the space to multiple activities, which is so nice. And we also built in, we had a lot of accessibility features in the SEC, which we really saw the community benefit from. And that was one of our goals with this space, is to really make the space physically accessible for folks, to have an accessible kitchen, to make sure that the ramps were level that wouldn't be too steep for people to get into the building. We just wanted to add in accessibility all over.
My favorite part of the Pride Center would have to be our gathering hall, which is behind me, just because I like to hang out with other graduate students to do homework and friends, and it's just a really special place for me on campus. It's probably the safest spot on campus for me personally. Sometimes I come here just to unwind after the day with friends. So yeah, it's a very special part of the Pride Center for me.
The SEC space was really amazing because it was just so convenient to folks. But we did have some members of the community who didn't feel comfortable coming to a space that was so visible. So our location is still kind of part of the heart of campus. Like, we're still close to a lot of things, but it's not like quite so visible as our space in the SEC. We have things in the center like binders for people to try on and gender affirming supplies for people to take or to see, and lots of information on mental health and sexual health. We have a harm reduction program that we table that we're getting ready to get started again. And we have safer sex banks here in the center so folks can become more comfortable with safer sex practices. So anywhere we can fit that inclusivity and that whatever the students are telling us they need into the work here is really important to us.
The new Pride Center is open to all OSU students, regardless of identity. Upcoming events can be found on the OSU Pride Center Instagram. After the break, we'll be visiting the Corvallis Farmers Market. We'll also talk about ASOSU. How are $30 million of your student fees managed?
My name's Fern Barber. I'm a photojournalist for Orange Media for the photo team, and I'm shooting the baseball game today at Goss Stadium.
My name is Ethan Heathershaw. I am a sports writer for the Orange Media Network for Oregon State University. Today was my first coverage of a baseball game. A little confusing, it's like didn't know where everything was, but eventually we got there and figured it out. I got to sit up there in the press box with all my fellow media members. It's ended with a great game today with the Beavers taking home an 11-0 win.
I've been shooting for the photojournalism team since last fall, and it's been really fun. Today I was shooting with a 300 zoom lens that was manual focus. The big zoom, the big lens made it a lot easier to get photos of people who are really far away, which is obviously important for baseball in particular with a big field.
Would you say it adds a lot more fun, or do you think you would prefer staying on the mound and just getting your strikeouts? I've been an athlete all my life. I played football and wrestled throughout all of high school. I've been writing for the Daily Barometer for I think close to maybe 3/4 of a year now.
I've been shooting for OMN for almost 2 years now. I'm graduating this year. I didn't have a lot of experience with photography when I first started with OMN, so if there's anyone who wants to get into sports photography or photojournalism or just photography in general, the photo team is a great place to start.
I wanted him to slide.
Go Beavs!
Welcome back to The Chew. Up next, we'll be taking a visit to the Corvallis Farmers Market on First Street. The Farmers Market features vendors from all around the state, selling flowers, fresh fruit, and like Brandywine Fisheries, fish products. We had a chance to stop by their booth.
Which would be great, but not you want me to cut you any of that tail, or do you want to take
My name is Linda Evans. I am from Springfield, Oregon, and I work for Brandywine Fisheries.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
We sell a lot of Chinook salmon. We sell halibut, a lot of black cod and rockfish. We ship our smoked salmon all the way to the East Coast, and we ship some of our fresh fish too, but our smoked salmon, that's our staple. That's what we're very well known for, is our smoked salmon. You know, I think what makes it special is the quality of the product that we have. It's the way we treat the product and handle it with care. We don't waste product. We fillet our fish. We scrape our bones and have salmon burger after that. And then from there we sell salmon soup bags. So nothing is put to waste. I really like that. I think my favorite part of the job is coming to the markets, meeting people, educating them on buying fish.
And then you can eat it like a chicken wing, you know, or like a drumstick.
Because a lot of people really don't know how to buy fish, and I was one of them. Let me get you a cash discount real quick. Oh, this job has just been surprisingly uplifting. It just fits right into my life. I feel like I have a lot of free time. I feel like the work that I do isn't work. So when you're doing something and it doesn't feel like work anymore, then it's love. It's love in your heart. It's really enjoyable.
The Corvallis Farmers Market is open to all Wednesday and Saturday mornings from April to November each year. Up next, Two Town Cider House recently held its 14th annual harvest party. Before the event, reporter Kip Branich visited the cidery to see what was in store this year. Check it out.
Recently, I went to Two Town Cider House to get a behind-the-scenes look at their warehouse and 14th anniversary harvest party.
And we're really excited to throw our 14th annual harvest party. We do this every year, and it's kind of our way to give back to the community that supported us and that just allows us to do the work that we love.
At this year's festival, attendees enjoyed live music, balloon rides, and 40 craft beverages on tap, including the X Tap, where a new cider was introduced every hour.
And this is going to be the field in which our annual harvest party is going to take place this year. We are looking to have about 15,000 square feet of covered area for all of our guests.
In addition to the harvest party, Two Towns offered a tour of their new and improved warehouse.
Just want to give everybody a rundown of what's going to be happening. Besides the party, we're going to be doing tours over our main production facility pretty much all day. You got to go get signed up for them, but they're pretty comprehensive, and you kind of get to see what it's like in the day of the life of a cider maker, packaging person.
On the tour, I got to meet the warehouse's new mechanical employees.
The net proceeds of the festival will go to Cornerstone Community Housing, a local nonprofit organization that is committed to building quality, affordable housing for people living on limited incomes.
But really, we're partying for a good cause, a great cause, and a very important cause that affects all of our communities.
For KBVR The Chew, this is Kip Branich signing off.
At the end of this episode, we will be talking to Audrey Schlotter and Zach Kowash, President and Vice President of ASOSU. ASOSU manages $30 million of student fees, funding programs like Safe Ride and the Oregon State University Program Council. Before we talk to them, you may be wondering, how does ASOSU work? Now, let's take a look at ASOSU and how our student government operates. The Associated Students of Oregon State University is the home to a multitude of resources, from legal to political, that can help everyday student on a day-to-day basis. It was founded in the 1800s and has continued to grow throughout the years. ASOSU is made of 5 units, each of which deal with or offer advice for different aspects of student life. Student Government, Office of Advocacy, Student Advisory Board, Student Legal Services, and the Safe Ride program. Student Government is the official organization of student democracy at Oregon State. The student government can be broken down into 5 branches: the Executive Branch, the Senate, Judicial Council, Student Fee Committee, and the Archives and Records Department. According to the ASOSU website, the Executive Branch manages the everyday tasks of student government. The executive staff coordinates events to engage with and advocate for student interests in terms of campus happenings and policy. A priority for the Executive Branch is guiding the political priorities for ASOSU each year. According to their website, ASOSU is responsible for the management of $30 million in incidental student fees. These fees are set every year based on the amount of funding and resources for student services. The Student Fee Committee is housed within the Executive Branch, which manages and allocates the annual student incidental fee to support services, facilities, and organizations. According to the ASOSU website, the Student Fee Committee's goal is to improve campus life for all students. The legislative body is run by the Senate. They create and debate legislation and advocate on the behalf of issues relevant to OSU students. All 18 members are elected by the students each year. Senate meetings are open to all students to watch, and the Zoom link can be found on the ASOSU website. The third branch of ASOSU is the Judicial Council, which represents the judicial branch. The council interprets the ASOSU Constitution and statutes, as well as advise any group or organization that holds a dispute within ASOSU. If you want to view any of the statutes or the Constitution archives and records is the place to go. They keep track of everything ASOSU has done, and these records are open to the public. They also keep the ASOSU Code of Conduct, marketing, and branding guidelines. The ASOSU Student Advisory is responsible for advising student government, the Safe Ride program, student legal services, and the Office of Advocacy. The board's job is to provide advice and recommendations for the new budget each year. According to the ASOSU website, the board meetings are open to the public and student participation is encouraged, especially during the fall term. ASOSU's Office of Advocacy is responsible for student advocacy alongside the full-time staff. The student advocacy has peer advocates who can give more of a student perspective. According to the Office of Advocacy website, they are open to meet to all students. That includes graduate, international, eCampus, and Cascade students. They can help with a number of different issues, including first and second time academic misconduct accusation, non-academic misconduct, petitions, housing issues, financial aid, and Title IX. To schedule an appointment, go to the Office of Advocacy website. The Safe Ride program was created by women for women in 1988 in response to the Sexual Assault Prevention Program. Now, the program is open to anyone in need of a ride in Corvallis, the surrounding areas, or around campus. Safe Ride operates 7 days a week from 8:30 p.m. to 1 a.m. A student can request a ride via the Safe Ride app. The final unit of ASOSU is legal services. Legal services are provided for students only and encompass a plethora of services, including landlord/housing disputes, criminal misdemeanor, traffic infractions, divorce and child custody, name changes, and legal sex changes. There are many more that are listed in detail on the Student Legal Services website. The operations of legal services are supported by student fees, making the service free of charge to all eligible OSU students. Even if your specific area is not listed, all students are encouraged to contact the Student Legal Services office. A smaller version of ASOSU's first was established in 1898. The intention was to help raise money for the football team, which was in debt. In 1900, the organization was officially voted into existence. Over the course of the 1900s, ASOSU had its first female president, its first person of color, and international president. They fought for a free bus system for students as well as a child care facility. If you're interested in getting involved with ASOSU, the application for general opportunities are open on their website. Currently, a job opening for judicial counselor is available and can be found under the Get Involved tab on the ASOSU website. Elections for ASOSU Student Government are held annually and start in winter term. All students are encouraged to vote and get informed about political candidates during the voting process. After the break, we will have a chance to sit down with Audrey, Schlotter, and Zach Kowash, President and Vice President of ASOSU, to talk to them about their goals for this year. Stick around.
Are you the person your grandparents call when their TV stops working?
No, okay, so you want to hit the large red button. No, Mimo, that's the blue button. I can tell you're pressing the blue button.
Have you ever turned something off and then back on and it magically worked?
Do you ever look at someone using technology wrong and in your head you think, man, this person is not doing this right, but you kind of decide not to say anything because that could be rude, but it also would save that person so much time?
Have you ever dreamt of untangling cables?
Do batteries look like a tasty snack to you, and you tried to eat them once, but then you got sick, but after you recovered you did it again because deep down you knew that the batteries would give you so much energy? Do you feel a deep sense of purpose when you push a button?
If any of this applies to you, you may be entitled to financial compensation. As a student engineer at KBVR TV.
No experience required. An endless fountain of audiovisual knowledge awaits.
Welcome back to the Chew. I'm here with Audrey, Schlotter, and Zach Kowash, President and Vice President of ASOSU. Thank you for being here with us today. Before anything else, for the audience, would you mind telling us what your role in student government is and how you guys work together as President and Vice President of ASOSU?
Yeah, my name's Audrey Schlotter. I use she, her pronouns. I'm this year's student body president at Oregon State. Something that I do is I run our executive branch, and then Zach?
Yeah, my name is Zach Kowash. I use he, him pronouns, and in my position as vice president, I'm situated right between the executive and legislative branches. In the executive branch, I assist Audrey in kind of running the executive cabinet, making those big decisions, and I'm also acting as the chief elections officer. So I'm the one that coordinates all of elections in the winter, and then I also serve as the president of the Senate in the legislative branch. So I kind of direct conversations, set agendas, plan meetings, all that fun stuff that comes with the job. So.
Yeah. Awesome. Do you want to tell me a little bit more about your college experiences besides these ASOSU positions? What might have kind of built your thoughts on certain issues, like if you had any certain school positions outside of this beforehand?
Yeah, so I'm a transfer student. I came from Spokane Community College, and there I got involved in student government. Some girl came into my class and was like, hey, we need people, like you can get paid for it. And I said, you know, that sounds like a really good opportunity to add something to my resume. And then 3 years later now, I'm still here and I still love it. And I think student advocacy in general has been my thing for a majority of my life. And this has just given me a really great opportunity to be able to foster that. Zach's is a little bit different though.
Yep, I am a longtime Beaver. A lot of people in my family went here. And so it was kind of just like fate that brought me here. And so starting out, I've had a lot of research experience in the College of Health, Ag Sci, Science, all that fun stuff. And then I've also served a lot in fraternity leadership in my own fraternity, Acacia, and then also on the Interfraternity Council. And being able to be in those positions and see the student response and the student need really led me to this spot where I am now to be able to make the change that I've been wanting to make on a bigger level.
And
yeah,
the best,
absolutely.
Sorry, and the best VP of all time.
No, I don't doubt it at all. It's nice to see that these opportunities definitely would let you get to see like the inner workings of different things that you already might have an impact on with all these decisions that you get to help being a part of.
Absolutely.
So what do you hope to accomplish with this administrative position that you guys have now?
Yeah, so Zach and I ran on 3 pillars to our platform, but I think our 3.5 months in office has had that grow so much. So are you okay if we kind of jump around a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So the first thing that we ran on is student health and wellness. We are bringing free at-home STI testing to campus, hopefully by the end of fall term. That's the goal. In a destigmatized way, increase Narcan and test strips access, and then increase mental health care. Those are like the health and wellness platforms, and then also bringing in a framework from the American College Health Association called Project Healthy Campus to kind of guide our university thoughts around that.
Mm-hmm. And our next big pillar that we ran on was student engagement and collaboration. We have over 400 clubs here on our campus, and a lot of those clubs will serve the same purposes or support the same initiatives. And so Audrey and I want to create a space for those clubs to be able to work together to accomplish these shared goals. The more hands, the lighter the work, as they say. And we also want to get students more engaged within ASOSU. Last year, our voter turnout in our election was 16%. We're hoping to get that a little bit higher by doing things like this, getting our name out there to students, making sure that ASOSU is on their radar. And the next big thing is fiscal transparency. ASOSU is a really complicated procedure from the outside, specifically the student fee process, where we're spending the money that you give us. And so Audrey and I are trying to make this process much more approachable for the student to make their voice known. Advertising all of that, making our meetings more publicly known is a part of that.
Yeah, and then we're kind of jumping back into things that we didn't run on, but have been crucial parts to our administration thus far, and that encompasses a lot of civic engagement, voter registration. We're in the middle of a voter registration competition with UO, so if you haven't already registered to vote, register through our link. Hopefully we're kicking their butts, but no one will ever know until I guess the 5th. We'll find out on the 5th. But so that's been a huge part, and then also making sure students know what's on the ballot and what this affects, because I think there's a lot of misinterpretations on what people in our community actually have a say in, as well as getting ready for the long legislative session. And that's been a really impactful process. So that's kind of what we've been doing, and we're always open to student input. Like, we've made adjustments based off of what you guys have told us since we've been in office, and we'll do it again.
Absolutely. So I know you guys are very representative of the people, and especially when it comes to students. So recently the graduate coalition of their employees did a strike. When it comes to that kind of thing and representing student employees in that regard, how are you guys trying to kind of reach out and make sure that they're well represented, especially when something as big as a strike on campus is going on?
Yeah, it's really, the CGE is not funded out of any of our units, but collectively, I think we through ASOSU, we have a lot of people who are involved with a lot of those initiatives, while also we fully support, sorry, I'm stumbling over my words, but we fully support labor rights and labor unions and also collective bargaining, because students do have a right to get paid what they're worth. And I think it's being able to work with administration to be able to find that medium where all students don't have to pay an extremely more in their tuition to be able to pay for that, but at the same time. So I think it's a balancing act, and Zach and I both support all of the workings that go along with that.
Absolutely. We passed a resolution in our Senate very early in that term that supports labor rights, and we support students' collective bargaining rights and the ability and the voice that it gives them.
Yeah.
Okay, so it's more of a student like support and just like guidance, rather than you guys won't really participate in any wage negotiations or anything of that regard. Very hands off.
Yeah, that's outside of our scope.
Yeah,
is those
absolutely.
negotiations.
Because when someone does decide to unionize, it really takes it between the bargaining group and then also university human relations. So it takes it out of the student view.
Yeah, absolutely. So when it comes to other things on campus, so such as like the cultural centers and different student organizations, how else do you guys participate? Have you guys had an opportunity to do anything with any of the cultural centers, like the new Pride Center that just got developed?
We haven't gotten an opportunity to work with the cultural centers this year yet. We have done some incredible things in the past.
Yeah, and we have an amazing diversity team that is continuing to work with them. The Pride Center has a reopening event next Monday from 3:30 to 5:30 that we'll be showing out at as ASOSU. And so our job as a student government is to support the initiatives that the cultural centers are already doing. They do amazing work in creating student communities on our campus, and that's their thing, and we want to support them in the best way that we can.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you guys have any examples of any ways you guys have done any support in the past for them?
Yeah, so we have, again, I'll refer back to our diversity team, but we've been able to work together. Last year, our queer student advocacy coordinator started work to get gender inclusive bathrooms on campus, and that was in part with help from the Pride Center and things like that. And we're continuing that work this year, which is super exciting.
Yeah, absolutely. Super valuable. Do you think there's anything that you feel anyone should know about ASOSU that's critical to students that might be coming in that are new, either transfer students or just a new undergraduate student?
Yeah, we have so many resources that students can take advantage of. I think you talked about student legal services that offers that opportunity free of charge since you're paying with your student fees. But we offer Safe Ride, which is great for safety. There's a lot of great leadership development that happens within ASOSU and within the units that ASOSU funds. So that's another great way that ASOSU can support new students. It's a really great place to find a community as well. You represent students of a group, and so with that you get to meet all of these students and you get to make your face known and be able to show that to other people, which is really great.
Yeah, I also think that when people hear student government, there's a big stigma around it. Like, they think that we're all poli-sci people, which, yes, I'm in the College of Liberal Arts, but Zach is my College of Agricultural Sciences ambassador, and we're people in your classes. Like, we're not these scary people, and you can come up to us, and we're living the same lives that you are with slightly different variations. Like, we have a collective experience, and we want to be able to advocate for maybe the experiences that we don't have personally, so.
Yeah, like we're all students. All you're really trying to do is just create some kind of light for anyone that is just going through it right now, just to kind of be their guide, be any kind of representative they feel comfortable going to. Absolutely. That's such a pleasure to see and feel as like a student that's relatively newer myself.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much. It's been such a pleasure. I appreciate you guys a ton. That is all the time we have today on The Chew. And follow The Chew Live on Instagram and TikTok. I'm Audrey Bedoya Bunch. Thank you so much. Have a great night.